Well, hello and welcome to my world, folks. Welcome to Talk Leadership with Cedrick. You know, everybody needs a little TLC, and I am Cedrick LaFleur, your host, and I'm so excited to be back with you for another live show of Talk Leadership with Cedrick. You know, Talk Leadership with Cedrick is where we focus on leadership and personal growth with business leaders, educators, and local thought leaders. Our goal is to introduce our audience to leaders who are making an impact with innovative ideas. And our guiding leadership principle is the law of contribution, which says growing yourself enables you to grow others. See, you can't give what you don't have, so you must grow yourself in order to grow others. So we believe that outstanding leaders like yourself will help us to help others. So tonight, folks, we have another dynamic leader in studio with us. And, you know, every week I like to do a proper introduction of my guest. So let me do a proper introduction. So first of all, we have with us Miss Scarlet Rodriguez. Welcome, Scarlet.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Well, awesome. I am so excited for you to be on the show tonight.
Yeah, I'm very excited too. Thank you.
Awesome. So Scarlet Rodriguez is a Houston native. She is a youth and life coach. She may also be known as Coach Scar. She encourages young athletes and her life coaching clients with unlimited support and help to help them reach their full potential. So growing up as an athlete all her life and playing basketball from the young age of 5 years old all the way up through college, she has never let her height stop her from anything. She now wants to give back to others, athletes and non-athletes alike, and she want to help them like her father helped her by teaching her the game of basketball. And she had a lot of other great coaches along the way that provided training, encouragement, pushing a little, go. So welcome, Miss Scarlet Rodriguez to the show.
Yay. Thank you for the introduction. I loved it.
You are welcome. Now, folks, she is tiny, but she is fierce. And you just need to know that, all right? So let's get started here, Scarlett. You know, I read a little bit about your bio, but, you know, people want to hear from you directly. You know, what's been your journey post-college and what's really helped you get to where you are today?
So post-college, I went straight into coaching. I was over at Hardin-Simmons University, which is a D3 school in Abilene. And if you don't know, I went to college in Kansas. So like you said, I'm from Houston, and then I went all the way to Kansas. So then after that, I was like, oh, I can go anywhere. Like I went to Kansas, 12 hours away from home. Like I can go anywhere. And so I went to Abilene, which is 6 hours away from Houston, but still it was really far. Like Texas is huge. And it was really difficult for me because it was, I guess, my first like adult job, I would say, in the real world. And I didn't really have college friends. I didn't have teammates like I pretty much grew up with all my life. And I was around girls and, you know, coaching the team, but it was different because they were also very close to age with me. And I really, kind of struggled with that, I guess, adult social part of my life. And from then on, after that, COVID had hit right after our season. And we had such a great season, really. Our team was awesome. And I had a really great head coach. She was great. And so after COVID, I came home and I was still doing my school online because I was doing the master's program while being a graduate assistant. And once COVID hit, I was just doing school and I'm like, okay, what else am I supposed to be doing? Like, it was just a really weird time for me. I was still so fresh out of school and I was really trying to figure out what it is that I was meant to do. And so I was like, well, I got to do something. And I started working at Target. I'm like, I got to do something. And so I was a cashier at Target. And oh my God, bless the cashiers, because I don't, that's just not for me. It was not for me. And, I was so blessed and fortunate to get a job like prime COVID quarantine. So I was very thankful for that, but it was just not really fulfilling to me. And I knew there had to be something else out there. So I'll never forget, my mom sent me a text and she's like, "Hey, Scarlet, there's somebody on next door. Their mom's looking for someone to kind of coach her daughter and just keep her active." And I'm like, I think I can do that. And so I never forget, her name was Lily. She was my first, I guess, youth client, I would say. And I would just go to her house and I would train her in her backyard. Sometimes we would get to do like fun things. I would take her swimming. And that's kind of where it really started. And I would say I was probably, it's been about a year since it's been more of a hobby until I kind of started seeing it more as a business. And then I transferred that Coach Scar brand into my business, working with youth clients and then working with my life coach clients. But the name Coach Scar did originally come from my teammate, or my teammates, my players over at Hardin Simmons. They called me Coach Scar. So that's really where it came from. And that's how I have been able to like transition my basketball coaching into like youth coaching and life coaching. And that's what I'm doing now. And I really love it.
That is awesome. So, I do want to take a step back and I want to ask you some things about growing up playing basketball.
Yes.
Right. So you played since the age of 5. And all through, middle school and high school, you played summer basketball. So help our audience. There are a lot of, there are some youth that listen to the show. Also, there are some youth parents that listen to the show. So tell us your experience from your eyes playing basketball for your dad and then for other teams. What was that experience like for you?
So I am also very blessed and fortunate to have a dad who really took me to the gym, took me when I didn't want to go to the gym, taught me how to shoot, taught me how to dribble. And it's funny because when people see me and now I tell them yeah, I played basketball, and they're like, "What? You played basketball?" And I'm like, "Yes, I played basketball," because it's just I get underestimated for my size on the court and just in general, really, because I do look so young, and I'm also very petite and tiny. So for me, I was just in the gym daily with my dad, constantly pushing me, taking me to different trainings, and I was just very blessed and fortunate to have somebody like him kind of install that hard work ethic into me, really. But I just had really good coaches pretty much all of my life, I would say, some who I remember to this day. And so I would just say my dad has really helped me and has put me on good teams, put me in good places to go so I can grow as an athlete.
Sure. And yeah, I know that pushing you to go to practice when you don't want to, you're like, "I'm tired."
But now I am so thankful for those moments. And now that I'm an adult and I'm, doing the same thing for other kids, sometimes I'm like, "Man, am I getting too hard on them?" But honestly, now I am so thankful that my dad was so hard on me, because I think anybody who knows me and knows my dad, he was. And there was times when my mom would even say "Charlie, you're too hard on her." But honestly, I think it was the good balance of love, honestly. So, you got to be hard. Yeah, or you got to, you can't even figure it out.
Well, when you're on this side of it, then you start to realize.
Then you see. When you're a kid, you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is a lot." But one day, the kids who even I train, they'll see it. You always see it when you're on the other side of things.
Yeah. So let me ask you this now. So then you graduate high school and you go off to college, right? Talk about the college experience and the work. You put in a lot of work for your dad and for you, but with your dad and your teams you played on. But now you get to college and there's a different level of expectation as well.
Yes, very different because you don't have mom and dad in there to really guide you. It's really, you got to figure it out, especially being so far away. I was very homesick
Mm-hmm.
first year of college. I did have really great teammates, and that's one thing like I'll never forget about that school. Yes, I did go very far away, but I still have really close friends. You just grow a bond after being together for 4 years and playing together that you never really get anywhere else. And so it was a hard transition being away from home all the
Mm-hmm.
way over in Kansas. I mean, I totally was like, I can do it. I can do it. And I sure enough did it. But it was a bit of a culture shock, I will say, especially going to like the smallest town in Kansas. Not the smallest. I think they're smaller. But yeah, you definitely, it's like
Compared to coming from a big city like Houston.
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. But I
Mm-hmm.
had, like I said, I had a really great coach, Coach Angelina Fraze. She was the one who recruited me, and so I got fairly close with her. She was from Corpus Christi, and we had some like connection as far as there. And so for her to like recruit me, I was able to go there to that school. I mean, I didn't really have a lot of offers. I'm 4'11", maybe 5 foot on a good day. So I really just took what I could get. I had a few junior colleges and some D3 schools, but I mean, I decided to go there. And honestly, now looking back, it was like the best thing I could have done. But in the moments, there was just like, oh my gosh, like, what am I doing? This is so far, things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just like a mentality thing. If you really want to do it, you can do it.
Yes.
So, mhm.
Yes. So, and the last question on that, and then we're going to move on to
Yes.
your business. So, if you had to give a young high school senior right now,
Mhm.
somebody they may not even have been offered yet,
Yeah.
right? And they know that the fall is coming up. If you had to give them two pieces of advice,
Mhm.
what would that be?
So, now that we are talking right now, and I'm looking at my athletic part of my life into
Mm-hmm.
my business side of my life. It all comes down to pitching yourself, like literally putting yourself out there, letting somebody see you, and doing it over and over again. Because there will be one person who likes your qualities, likes your hard work, likes your grit on the court, things like that, that somebody will notice about you and then take a chance on you. So I would say definitely continue to pitch yourself, put yourself out there. And the second thing I would say is just don't like give up. Don't think, oh, well, it's so late already in the game. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to. There's so many colleges out there.
Right.
JUCO, like it's not just because you don't get an offer, right when all the other girls are, don't get down on yourself. Everybody's journey is so different. I mean,
Yeah.
I played with tons of these D1 girls, and
Mm-hmm.
they all went to really big schools. I didn't get to go to a big school, and that's okay. We just had different paths. So everybody is on different paths. Don't get defeated when you see so and so just signed to D1 school and, wherever.
Right.
So I would say don't get defeated.
Yes.
Mhm.
Awesome. 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 Thank you for sharing with that. You just don't know. Well, you know because you went through that, the psyche, the mental part of the recruiting process, right? And so you're helping someone now that's in that boat. So thank you. So you are a life coach. Now, what made you decide that I want to be a life coach?
Okay, so one day I was at my full-time job, and I think I was on a break. I will say I was on a break, and I was looking online because I don't know, it must have been a day where the full-time job. I am so new to the world. I'm very fresh. Like people are probably like, she hasn't had a full-time job, whatever. Well, I after leaving HSU, I ended up teaching for a year, and I taught pre-K 4. So I had a great experience. I had a good year. I mean, granted, it was COVID. It was crazy
Mhm.
to just be thrown in that first year of COVID. I mean, it's just a totally different experience. But one day I was looking online and I don't know what I thought. I just typed in life coach. And I'm like, what is a life coach? And like, can I be one? And so I'm like, how can I be one? And at this point, I was already coaching young kids. So I would go to my full-time job during the day. And then in the evening time, I would coach the kids. And so I thought, okay, well, maybe I can incorporate this into something. And I'm like, okay, well, Coach Scar, I can be youth coach youth athletes and then coach adults. And I had no idea what it was. And I thought, well, I have a communication degree. I'm in the middle of my human development master's degree. Like, surely I could put this together and help somebody. I like to talk. I like to meet new people. So I thought it was like the perfect combination. And, I mean, I even had a conversation with you. I'm like, I was so iffy. I was like, not sure about it. I was terrified. I'm like, no one's going to work with me. I'm like, it's just, people will be like, I had fear. I had like all types of doubt in my head. I am 24 years old. What does she know? That's
what am I going to tell people? Yeah.
Yeah. And so and so that's really how it came about. And then I kind of put my Instagram together and Coach Scar. And so I really just started putting content out there, and that's how it kind of came together. And I really enjoy it. I like to talk to people. I like to help people. I like moments when my clients have like breakthroughs and like are feeling really good. It feels so rewarding to help others. And like, I am far from perfect. Like, I don't have it all together either. And that's why I have my own coaches to help me. And I know I'm fairly motivating for others. And so it was just a really good fit to become a life coach.
Well, awesome. Yeah, young people have a time struggling with being a life coach and what can they offer. We have to always remember, and I think you and I had that conversation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people running ahead of you, but you're running ahead of a lot of other people, right? So you always have something to offer. So that's exciting. So what's been the most exciting part of becoming a life coach?
I think the most exciting part of becoming a life coach is really just helping other people and getting to meet new people, having people open up to me and be vulnerable and sharing, some personal things about themselves. I feel like that's a hard thing to do, especially to me, for meeting on a consultation call. Like, I'm honest, I'm a stranger to you, and they just open up. So that's really nice to have people feel comfortable with me. I enjoy that, and it's a compliment to feel like people can open up and talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when you go out and intentionally add value to other people, they can feel it. The vibes come through.
The vibes.
Yes. Yeah. And it makes them comfortable, and then it makes them want to feel comfortable to share with you, break down those walls, right?
Yes.
That's the biggest part for anybody, is breaking down those walls and saying, okay, let me open up to this stranger that I'm interviewing.
Yeah.
So, well, awesome. So your business niche is to what audience?
So I think I'm still kind of figuring out that niche, if you will. And right now, I have noticed a lot of females are reaching out to me. That's who I've been helping out lately. But it's funny because I have, some clients who are close to age in me, and then I have some older clients who are almost as old as my mom. Like, so it's really different as far. I don't think
wait. As old as your mom? You mean as experienced as your mom?
Okay, yes, as wise as my mother. And
see, yeah. I'm trying to save you here because.
Sorry, Mom. No, older than me, close to my mother's age.
I know.
So, and so I don't think there's an age range when it comes to working with me. And in fact, one of my older clients, she has even said like she really enjoys that I'm young and fun, and she likes that about me. And so we just work really well together. I don't think age is a issue when it comes to working with me. In fact, like I enjoy all different types of people from all different backgrounds, all different ages. And so I would say it's probably people who want to get back on track as far as like their fitness and eating right and just feeling like themselves again. So I would say that's probably my niche.
Okay. All right. And then you also work with young athletes.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us, are you looking for, female athletes, boys and girls, age range? What are you looking for?
So for my athletes, I have been working with boys and girls, and it's really been like the same thing. It's been different age ranges. I have worked with kids as little as 4 years old up into like 17 years old. So with District H, that's where I coach at. And it's really neat because we have all different types of kids, and my branding is all pink, and I don't like that. I don't want that to scare anybody, but when people see the pink, they're like, oh my gosh, but that's just me. And I don't want it to, kind of set the intention like, oh, she just works with girls. But when it comes to the young athletes, I work with boys and girls. And I think that's how I want it to be. I want it to be a mix. But of course, I do have some sort of like strong relationship with young girls who play basketball and play different sports and want to work really hard when it comes to like trying to excel in sports. So I would say I do have a strong suit there, but boys and girls for sure.
Okay, awesome. So so for parents who are looking for someone to work with their young athletes, and for the athlete that may be looking as well, when they come and work with Coach Scar, give us an example of what are they going to get? What are they going to gain from working with you?
So it also depends on what they want to work on. So I do like specialty like basketball sessions, and then I'll do like hill and conditioning sessions. And then over at District H, we do a lot of conditioning and strength and, instructing how to deadlift and things like that and back squat. So in any of those sessions, be expected to just be pushed a little harder than you normally would. I like to kind of get on my clients just a little bit, but it's all out of love. I mean, I had one kid who told his mom, he's like, Coach Scar's hard. And I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to be. If it was easy, you would go somewhere else. No, but I want them to, of course, like, it's hot, especially now. We're working out outside, and I tell them, like, if you can work out outside, you'll excel. And if you can play, you'll do fine in the air-conditioned gym. So it's all out of love and just pushing you for that extra, like that extra hard push to continue with your workouts and strength conditioning and in basketball and really in anything.
Okay, all right. So you're gonna show them that crossover move. You're gonna show them what is it they gonna, that's what they want to know. So what am I gonna get stronger with my left? Am I gonna be better going right?
Yeah, so I definitely will work with the client depending on their weaknesses. And if I have somebody who needs to work on their shot, that's what we'll be doing majority of the time. But we do a lot of ball handling when it comes to basketball too. So it really depends on the person and what they, strengths and weaknesses. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So what would you say is the thing that separates Coach Scar from other coaches that are out there?
Yes. All right. So there is no other Scarlet Rodriguez's on the planet. So I think I have, that's something different about me. And I think what makes me is I am very encouraging. I know how to push a child to where they need to be pushed, not to where it's overbearing. And I think what makes me special too is where I have the experience of being so tiny and having to work pretty much extra hard. Like I had that whole experience of basketball and things like that. So I know what it takes to excel and work really hard. Especially, I just had to do people. Yes, everyone's working hard, but I had to work a little bit harder because I was just so tiny. So I think that's something that I had that experience, and now I can help others as well.
Okay, all right. So Gina said Scarlet brings the heat and the energy all the time.
The energy, yes.
I like that, Gina. Tell them, just put it out there. Scarlett's being very modest, right? Tell them she's gonna bring the heat. They're gonna have to guard her a little bit in practice and see if they're ready for that big time stuff. All right, thank you, Gina. So, Scarlett, what makes you're smiling all the time, but what makes you smile when you get up in the morning?
I am smiling all the time. That is true. Well, lately I've just feeling really good, and it feels so good to do what I actually really enjoy. And I always start my day with working out, which is what I really like to do. It's kind of like a de-stressor for me, and that's exciting to me. I get to move my body the next morning and get to move. Some people can't move, and so we're so blessed and fortunate to move our bodies. And so that's something that gets me pumped up for the next day, to be able to do that and to be able to do what I really love. And it's just something about, doing what you love and not feeling so, like, oh, I have to be here at this job today, things like that.
Yes, you're absolutely right about that. So, I know you're an athlete and you watch what you put in your body as well. But let's say nobody's home, so nobody's gonna know. Dad's not home, mom's not home, the little brother's not home, the dog and the cat, they're gone too, right? It's just you and the four walls. So what dessert are you gonna sneak in?
Dessert.
Yes.
Dessert, I'm going to probably tres leches cake. Yeah, that's my favorite.
Okay. All right. So they're gonna come home and say, "What happened to that cake? That piece of cake that was left?" Scarlet.
Yeah. They'll know. They know I like that. Everybody knows that's like my favorite. That and berry chantilly from Whole Foods.
Okay. All right.
My favorite.
All right. So, Scarlett, so what do you think is stopping people from being the best version of themselves?
I would think of fearing of what other people will think of them, fearing of failing or not working out how they want it to. I really think it just comes down to being a bit scared of what could happen, the unknown.
Yeah. So help our audience and tell them, how did you deal with that fear?
So I'll be honest, that fear creeps up every now and then. It doesn't totally go away. And so I think there's, in anything that we do, there's always that slight bit of, well, what if that doesn't happen? And so what I like to call it is the critter brain, and that little voice that talks to you. And you and I even talked about this. I mean, you have to talk to yourself. Right. You have to get yourself out of that funk and talk to yourself. Because I mean, I have moments where I'm like, what am I doing? What is going on? And so I constantly have to talk to myself and think of like what the greater good, like what's happening here, like what am I meant to be doing? It just comes down to talking to yourself.
Yes, I absolutely loved you said that. So I was in Killeen, Texas today. I have a client there, car dealership that's there that I work with their entire staff once a month. And one of the things I told them today, Today, we were studying the law of the mirror, which says you must see value in yourself to add value to yourself, right? And one of the things that I said during this training is you have to stop listening to yourself and start talking to yourself, right? And with that, it changes, right? Because when you listen, you're listening to that little voice that's saying, I'm going to fail. I'm not good enough.
You
What if
can
they
get
don't like
yourself
it?
in a black hole, and then you're done. Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
you're absolutely right. And then when you start talking to yourself, whoo, man, when you start telling yourself, I'm already good enough.
Yeah.
I know this is going to be great,
I'm
right?
on fire.
Absolutely.
I just tell myself that. I have to, or because no one else is gonna say it, so I gotta tell me to myself.
Yes,
Really.
exactly. If you lower your price, meaning your value on yourself, no one else is going to come and try to give you more for that, right?
Yeah.
So I love it. Absolutely love it. So if one of your clients, Scarlet, if they came in that door right behind you right now, what would they say about you and your service?
I believe they would say about my service that I give very great guidance. I am encouraging. I am bold. I am fun. I make it a fun session. I don't ever want my sessions to be boring or feel so dreadful. I mean, I had a session not too long before this call, and I mean, she was even saying that she's just been feeling really good, that I've been helping her a lot. And so I think they would definitely say that I'm helpful in that aspect. And I'm just like a little cheerleader on the side. I'm like, you can do it, go do it. Yeah.
Awesome. Everybody needs a little cheerleader in their life, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. So we play a little game of what's called Would You Rather.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to play a round of Would You Rather here. So would you rather meet your great grandparents or your great grandchildren?
My great grandparents.
Great grandparents. All right. Would you rather have a life rewind button or a life pause button?
That's a hard one. I think a pause.
A pause button. All right. And audience, I forgot to tell you, you can play along with this as well. Go ahead and put your answers in the chat and I'll put them up on the screen. So would you rather no one show up at your wedding or no one show up at your funeral?
I think I would have no one show up at my wedding. No.
At your wedding? Okay.
I don't know if I would. Maybe funerals?
Well, at your funeral, you're not going to know, right?
Yeah, funeral. I
don't know. So would you rather be stuck in an elevator or on a ski lift?
Elevator.
Elevator. All right. Would you rather go bungee jumping or skydiving?
Bungee jumping.
Bungee jumping. Okay. All right. Gina said her wedding. All right. Would you rather be an adult your whole life or a kid your whole life?
I would rather be a bills. A kid? A kid.
A kid? Yeah. All right. So well, you want your dad to just pay for everything your whole life then?
Yeah, I don't know about this adult
life. So would you rather have a stadium named after you or have a university named after you?
These are great questions. Stadium.
Okay. Joanne says, do I have to choose? Yes.
I know these are hard.
So would you rather have free Apple products forever or free Wi-Fi wherever you go?
Free Apple products.
Free Apple products. All right. Would you rather own a private island or your own private jet?
A private island.
Private island. Okay. All right. Couple more.
How am I going to get there?
Hey.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Gina and Joanne said university. They'd rather have the university name after them. All right. Couple more here. Would you rather have free gas for 25 years or or have your dream car?
Free gas.
Free gas. Mm-hmm. All right. Would you rather be a ninja or a pirate?
A ninja.
A ninja?
What was that?
Would you rather be a ninja or a pirate?
A pirate.
A pirate. All right, last one. I love this one. I always ask everybody this one. So, would you rather have $1 million in Amazon gift cards or $100,000 in real money?
I think real money.
The real money?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. See, I want those. I want that $1 million in Amazon gift cards because I love that Amazon truck showing up every day.
Yeah, but I want to use it somewhere else.
You want Amazon sells everything. You can buy a house now on Amazon.
Yeah, I know. Amazon does.
You know, you get that little smiley face box coming every day.
I know. Too good.
So thank you for playing that round of Would You Rather.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yes. So let's take a look 10 years from now. So you are what, 24?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So now you are 34. All right. We're going to go 10 years out. You're 34 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what I want you to do is at 34, what do you see in your life and what you've accomplished?
34, Scarlet. I have had some thoughts of maybe even having my own gym. And that being like even a basketball gym, because right now I'm so fresh and so new. It's been tough finding a basketball gym, especially during this time. So that would be pretty neat to even have my own place where I can go, I can train, and I can have my own office, things like that. I would really love to have some sort of, I guess, I'm so fresh and so new into this, and there is times where I mean, imagine it's the same for any business owner, as far as like that stable income, and I would want to feel confident and stable in that area when I am like 10 years out from here. I want to be able to travel, have financial freedom, and just do things that I really enjoy. That's why I want to work so hard now. So then at that point in my life, like I can enjoy and do like the big things that I want to do. Like, yes, I'm still having fun now, but I got dreams. I got big dreams coming up, and I want to go places, and I want to have fun, and do things for me and for my family and things like that. So
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. It's always fun to dream and look farther out to see what have I done, or what do I want to do in that time. So now that you've had the dream, the next part, Scarlet, comes the action now.
Mm-hmm.
So everything you just dreamed about every day now is putting in the work to get to that dream. Because guess what? 34 is going to come.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't mean the dream is going to come unless you put in the work for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to having you back on the show. It'll be called a little older talk with Leadership with Cedrick.
Yes.
So what's the most important thing I should know about you?
I think the most important thing, well, I was going to say I'm exactly 4'11", which I really think it makes me. I talk about this with my friends all the time. If I was like 6 foot, I think that would just be so strange. I would definitely say, my height makes me who I am, and I embrace it. And one fun fact about me is that I am 4'11", and my birthday is also 4'11".
Get out of here.
Yeah. Isn't that so strange?
Yeah, that is. Well, my grandmother was 4'11", so 4'11" is a great height.
Yeah, I think it's just like a spunky, like, I don't know. Every like tiny person I meet, they're like always fun and spunky. Like my Aunt Gina, she's the same way.
Okay. All right. All right. So, okay. She said
it. So you should be Aunt Gina.
Awesome. I feel like I even know Aunt Gina because she's been on here tonight. So I feel like I know her now. She wants let me see here. She want what did she say? She wanted the money, right? The 100 grand. She wanted the free gas. She wants the private island. So see, I already know Aunt Gina.
Yeah. We're exactly the same. So
okay, all right, awesome. So if there are one or two things that you've learned about yourself from being a business owner, what would you say that is?
Well, I have really noticed that I thrive and I feel better. Doing something that I really enjoy. It's kind of a different feeling that I've never had before. Yes, there is some sort of freedom, but I have noticed that I have a hard time stopping putting down work, because at this point I'm just like in grind mode since I'm so early on. But it's all things that I enjoy, so it doesn't necessarily feel like working, if that makes sense. Yeah. And then the other thing that I have been learning and noticing is I need all the help and guidance I can get. Like, I am open for any suggestion. I am open for any constructive criticism. I am open to anything. I just need, any advice, words of wisdom to help me get through this and, be the successful business owner that I want to be.
Well, that is awesome. So your Aunt Gina said, yes, Cedrick, we're now best friends. And she said that your work ethic is that Rodriguez work ethic. So
yeah, she's not wrong. Yeah.
That is awesome. So what is one thing that you know now that you wish you had known when you started?
Save every receipt. Yeah. So I really have I've been doing this for about a year, but it didn't become a true business. I didn't get my DBA until like a few months ago, when it became like the real deal. Yeah. So before then, it was more of a hobby is what I was making it to be. And I had no idea that it could actually turn into something. So if that's one thing, I save every gas receipt, save everything. I had no idea. I didn't know that I was really running my own business. It was just a hobby. Yep, I'll be there at 5 p.m. to work out your child. And then I had no idea. Yes.
And so what you experience is the same thing that a lot of new entrepreneurs experience, right? They started off as something fun to do and say, oh, I'm good at this. I can do this. And they treat it like a hobby. Now that hobby can become an expensive hobby really quickly. Yeah. Right. And then they figure out that at some point they need to transition this to be a thriving business. And then when you start treating it like a thriving business, guess what happens? It starts thriving.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that works. Yeah. We have a boot camp that's called the Black Entrepreneurs Institute boot camp. And we teach business owners how to, it's really a lot of new entrepreneurs, how to start their business, how to write a business plan, how to get their finances, how to put together their marketing plan, how to look at their market segmentation and how to sell, how to be a salesperson, how to negotiate, all of those type things. So you're not alone in that journey. That's where a lot of new entrepreneurs struggle with at the beginning. Awesome. So how can people get in contact with you if they wanted to follow up with you?
So they can get in contact with me through my website, which is coachscar.com. It should be on the bottom here on that little red strip there. And then they can also get in contact with me on my Instagram, which is CoachScarHTX. And my email is, you can access it through either the coachscar.com or my Instagram. So those would be the best ways to contact. I fairly good at responding to emails and DMs and things like that. So that would be the way to go.
Awesome. And we're going to put this, audience, in the comments. Both of those. Her Instagram is there. We're going to put her her website as well in the comments. So all you have to do, we're going to make it easy for you. All you have to do is click and go. All right. Click and go to reach out to Coach Scar. If you have a child that is looking for a coach to help them understand, playing a sport, the mental side of playing a sport, the physical side of playing a sport. What does it take to get to the next level? Scarlet has been there. So you always want someone who's been there, done that. And that's what Scarlet is. She's played at the collegiate level. So she understands that, what it takes. And it's a lot of hard work. It's not instant gratification. And she can help you and your child with that. Also, she has her YouTube page, right?
Yes.
And we're going to put that in the comments as well. Let me just do that right quick.
Yes. And right. I would also like to add, even if your child is not an athlete or they don't play any sports, if they're wanting to learn how to play a sport, or if they want to kind of experiment with their body and coordination and agility and things like that, and just getting conditioning too, general conditioning, and something too that I could also help with. I had a lot of parents who, especially after COVID and quarantine, I had a lot of parents reach out and tell me that, I just need my kid to move. I just need them to do something, because, when we were all at home, a lot of kids playing video games, and, it was a tough time to feel motivated to do anything, really. And so I had a lot of parents tell me that, their kids, they just needed them to move and do something.
Right. Absolutely. So in the comments, folks, you're going to see her YouTube link. You're going to see her Instagram link and her website. All you have to do is click and go to reach out to Coach Scar. Now, we talked just a little bit about the youth, but life coaching. Mm-hmm. If we have an adult that's looking for someone to help them, people say all the time, Scarlet, I'm trying to find myself, right? Mm-hmm. In your life coach business, you can help them find themselves, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So if you're looking for any of those things, make sure you click on the link and reach out to Scarlet. So Scarlet, you've had a lot of successes. And if you had to think back and look at, something that you failed at, we all had times where we mm-hmm. failed at something and or not did as good as we wanted to. What would you say you learned from that failure?
This is a hard question. So I, looking back and thinking about any fails that I have had, I'm actually going to say that let's say I had never had any, because I feel like from any experience, I always gained something from that, whether it was not making a sprint in a practice or any of things like that. It only just drives me to want to change something and do better. So I think we can learn, from anything that we do, not looking at things as a fail rather than an experience, and gaining something from that, and changing it for the next time you do it, or, altering, but never like completely just giving up. Sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. A couple more questions for you. If you were starting all over again from let's say middle school, high school, you were starting all over again, mm-hmm. right? And you had to decide a sport, or you had to make a decision whether you're going to be in band or music or something else, mm-hmm. right? And this is not necessarily just for you. This is for our audience, mm-hmm. right? What advice would you give someone as they're looking at all those options, in terms of making a decision whether I want to play this sport, whether I want to be in music, and or all those different things?
I would say try anything and everything. Try things that make you uncomfortable. Try things you have really any interest in. If it has a slight bit of interest, I would say just try it. You never know where it will take you. You'll never know the people that you meet. You never know the connections that you'll make to land to the next spot where you're supposed to be. So I would just really encourage anybody to try anything different, get uncomfortable. If you're not getting uncomfortable, then you're not changing something, you're not growing.
Yes.
So I would definitely encourage anybody and everybody to try something different that's a bit out of their comfort zone.
Awesome. So a couple of quick I call them rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So what do you do when you take some time off, right? What do you like to do?
I like to play with my cats.
With your cats. Okay. All right. So what's your what happened? Wait a minute. Oh, sorry, my screen changed here. What's your favorite well, actually, your dessert. I was about to ask you what's your favorite dessert, but I already know that.
Yeah, there's such.
What's your favorite vacation spot and why?
So I think it's been a year. I went to St. John's last year, and that place was amazing. I liked how blue the water was, and it was just something different that I've never seen before. So I would have to say St. John's.
Awesome. So what would you say has been the driving force in your life?
I think making my family proud.
Awesome. Making family proud is always a good thing. And you have a brother, right? So your brother is also an athlete, right?
Yes.
And what sport does he play? And where does he play?
He plays golf. He is just like a gifted athlete. And he plays over at Southwestern University in Georgetown.
Awesome. So last question for you. If there was a book, Scarlet, that was written about you, okay, what would the title be? And what would the summary in the back of the book say about you?
So I would like to say that book's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, the book is coming. It's the story's being written currently. Okay. But to add to that, one of my goals is to create a children's book. So that is something. But I really think it would be tiny but fierce.
Tiny but fierce?
Tiny but fierce. I don't know if that's already been taken. But something along the lines of that. And the summary on the back it would probably be a pink book, and it would say something along the lines of, never letting my height stop me from anything that I've accomplished or done anything in my life. And I want others to feel the same way, especially coming from a Hispanic family. Like, you can do anything. So I think it would be something in regards to overcoming really any obstacles, whether you are Black, white, Mexican, anything, tall, short. I mean, you name it. You can do it all.
Well, that is awesome. So tonight, folks, we have been talking with little Miss Scarlet Rodriguez, tiny but fierce, and Scarlet shared a lot of moments and experiences with us. She talked about her experience playing youth sports, playing at the college level. What does it take to play at the collegiate level? The work that it goes into this. You can't just wake up one day and say, "I want to play college sports." You have to go and put in some work and work at it. And then once you get there, you can't say, "Well, I've arrived, now I'm good," because, right, Scarlet, when you get there, everybody's just as good as you are, right?
Yeah, they're even better.
Yeah. So you got to put in the work. So while you're young now, putting in the work, you may need that help and experience from someone who's been there, done that. Mm-hmm. All right. Scarlet is one of those people who's been there, done that. So you have her contact information right on your screen, her Instagram and her website. So you can reach out to her in the comments. We also have her YouTube link. So reach out to Coach Scarlet, Coach Scar, and let her help your child live out their dream. Whether they play at the college level or not, it's not about that. It's about helping them live out their dream to the fullest. And then also, if you're in need of help, of a life coach, you need someone to help you figure out what's your next step, what's your next move, just some general advice, or you need somebody that's going to be fierce and fun for you, then reach out to Coach Scar. So I'm going to give you, Coach Scarlet, the last word for the show on the show tonight. Anything you want to leave or share with the audience?
Well, first, I'd just like to thank you for having me. This has been really fun. This is something that I've never done before, so it's pretty neat to be on my first talk show with you. But like he said, if you are in need of anybody to give you that extra push, or you are feeling stuck and you're having some, thoughts when it comes to like, am I motivated? Can I do this? Like, reach out. I will get back to you. As far as the life coaching goes, we can book a consultation call, and it's free. It's fun. It's just it's a place where you and I can get a feel for each other and to see if it's a good fit on my end and your end. And we can go from there, talk about which program would be best for you. And it's really a fun experience. And I really enjoy them too, getting to meet and talk to different people. And I also send you a questionnaire so I can get some sort of history feedback from you. And get the best out of our conversation with each other by already having some information. And for my youth coaching, if you have any kids, I'm always looking for new kids. I am primarily in the Heights area. And I do some hill and sand sessions over at Spots Park. I'm over at District H. I have a Cubs group, which is our little kids. We have a Roadrunners group, which is kind of like that preteen area. And then we have our teens, which is our Wolf Pack. So come and see me. Like I said, I'm in the Heights. So District H is off of Studio and 11. So, yeah.
Well, there you go, folks. That is Coach Scar, Miss Scarlet Rodriguez. Thank you again for being on the show. Folks, we have another exciting leader that's going to be on Talk Leadership with Cedrick on tomorrow night. And then we'll come back on, and that's at 5:30. We come back on Thursday with Talk Leadership with Cedrick. Thursday edition, we're going to have a dynamic leader on the show. And then get ready for Friday mental motivation. 8:30 every Friday morning, we're going to bring the pain hard and fast to you. So make sure you're ready to come and end your week strong. And I always want to tell you folks that if you put your mind to it, you can do it. If you say you want to do it, then you can do it. The only thing you have to do is you have to have belief. And let me tell you what, folks, the only difference between ordinary and extraordinary is extra. The only difference between winning and losing is belief. The only difference between hot water and boiling water is 1 degree. You see it? 211 degrees, water's hot. At 212 degrees, water boils. With boiling water comes steam. With steam, you can power a train. The only difference between a person reaching their full potential and not reaching their full potential is desire. And I'm going to leave you with this, and we're going to get on out of your way. If you're not at the table, you're on the menu. Don't be on the menu. Thank you guys, and good night.